I won't say anything this time. Just promise me you'll change back in your clothes before your sister sees you. Yay! I promise, I promise. Would you like some cream on your special waffle? Or would you like to put it on yourself? No, regular is fine. The young girl smiled, grabbing a plate before walking over to me. Leaning down, she placed a plate on the table in front of me. I swallowed hard as I received a full view of her cleavage, purposely focusing on her tail as she turned and walked away. Maybe I should bring you some up for Onisama as well. After all, I want her to like me too. Do you think she'd like me if I gave her breakfast like this? You definitely shouldn't do that, Meiko-chan. I can promise you that your sister already likes you a lot. I'm pretty sure you'll trigger a death flag if you head upstairs. Oh, okay. By the way, since we're allowed to come into the village now, Onisama and I have been thinking about going to the festival tonight. You should come with us. It would be so much fun. That smells amazing. Meiko-chan, have you been making waffles again? Oh no! Taka-kun, run! Get out of here! Run before she sees you! Fearing the worst as Machiko's steps progressively came closer, I quickly realized that staying where I was would lead to one hell of a huge misunderstanding. I'll leave her to you. With those last words, I darted out of the kitchen and into the woods. It appears I made it just in time, because a moment later a shrill scream and a thunderous roar sounded from within the mansion. Although I was grateful for the waffles and the lingering mental image that Meiko had left me with, I didn't dare stay behind for her sister's wrath. As I continued into the woods, making a beeline past the trees, I descended into less traversed parts of the forest. I hoped I'd be able to hide myself long enough for Machiko to calm down. However, it wasn't long before a familiar voice reached my ears, causing me to come to a grinding halt. You seem to be in a hurry, Tachiyaro. I spun around on the spot and saw one huge person I had least expected. With her tail swaying eagerly behind her, the spirit of the shrine seemed to have decided to grace me with her presence. Or rather, you look as though you're being chased by a demon. That's awfully ironic coming from you. Well, I do enjoy looking out for lost little children in my forest. Teasing aside, you seem to be enjoying yourself. You could say that there's a certain charm to this place and the people that live here. I can't help but think that the reason is something more specific. I guess you're the one responsible for Meiko-chan's silly behavior these past few days? Oh, perhaps, but there's a reason behind this. Does it involve getting a wedding sash? Hardly. It's too simple of a goal. There's a much greater problem that requires your attention. It seems your ticket back home shall be arriving quite soon. How fortunate, just in time for your little game of violence. Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying that I'll be able to return soon? That is correct. Soon you will be gone, and I'll finally be free to play with my dear Maki-chan again, free from her strange fascination of you. What about this problem you mentioned? You'll figure that out soon enough, but I'll give you a hint, boy. There is a problem only you can solve. No one from this world will have the solution. For a moment, the spirit's gaze shifted sideways, clearly in the middle of a thought, before she returned to look at me quite happily. In any case, that is all you are going to get out of me. Don't disappoint me now, Takahiro. It is usually considered unwise to do so. And with those words, the spirit stepped backwards, seemingly fading into the scenery, as though she had been a simple illusion all along. Her comments worried me a little, and if this was going to be some sort of problem, I felt it would be best to inform the girls. Who would I end up warning? Oh, I get a choice. Maybe I should head back to the mansion and talk with the sisters. Maybe I should head to the village and see what they think about all this. Wow, this is my first choice. I didn't know I had choices in this. I like it. I don't know. Let's go with the foxes. I like the foxes. In the end, I decided it was best to return to the mansion. Surely Machiko would have calmed down enough by now. I did feel a bit guilty about leaving Meiko to deal with her all by herself. I walked back towards the mansion, and to my surprise, I saw Machiko sitting outside on the steps. I was vaguely considering turning around at this point, but she saw me and gestured for me to approach.